Sport-specific strength training is when you inculcate movements from your sport into your strength training for the cross-training effect so that the neuromuscular efficiency and conditioning of your body improves in those movements. For example, when you use the cable or resistance band to improve the diagonal sling of your body so that you're able to rotate better or you're able to throw better. Or when you use dumbbells to practice your boxing so that your shoulders and your arms build up the conditioning and the strength to be able to throw punches better. Or when you use resistance bands or cables to mimic the motion of your arm swings in swimming so that you are much better able to swim because the resistance from the resistance band or the cable machine will bring about or mimic the same resistance from the water that you are swimming in, making you swim more efficiently and faster. This is what fuckery sounds like. Yes, all of what I said was just fuckery. Sport specific strength training is fuckery because it is not a thing. It does not exist. There is no sport specific strength training, by the way. There is strength training and there is sport practice. These are two different entities of training for sport and we should not combine them. Combining both of these does not make it better. Combining both of these does not make it anything. It's just not there. Just don't do it. And also they use the term strength training and not resistance training. I've explained that in my previous video, what is strength training. Just go watch that. The term is strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning. I've explained this in my first video. Please go watch it. The engagement will help obviously, but go watch it. You'll learn something. When you talk about strength training, it brings about a specific adaptation of being able to produce more force. Then there is power training, which helps you produce that force more quickly. And when you train for strength, train for power, and simultaneously train your sport, that is sport specific training. The adaptations of strength and power that have been brought about in your body by the training can then be used to practice the sport so that you get better at sport. You don't play around your sport with weights in your hand. No, drop that weight, please. Unless it is heavy weight that is making you stronger and more powerful and you don't plan to dance around with it with your sport movements, drop that weight. Training at the gym brings about adaptations when you meet the conditions for those adaptations. For example, strength and power require heavy weight. Strength and power require you to produce more force. Hypertrophy and muscular endurance have a condition of a certain volume and intensity combined to be met so that the muscle groups being targeted or being trained can endure the long duration of work and or grow. Sport movements are random. There is no condition that is to be met for a movement to get better. They will always be random. It will always be unpredictable. It is agility, which is reaction to a stimulus and then movement based on that reaction. There are certain exercises at the gym which are more efficient at bringing strength adaptations. There are certain more efficient for power adaptations. Certain exercises that bring about hypertrophy and muscular endurance better. These exercises have certain techniques, certain ranges of motion. These exercises can be progressively overloaded. And most importantly, these exercises and their progresses can be quantified. Again, sports movements are very random. They are unpredictable. When something is unpredictable and changes every few seconds, how are you supposed to quantify the progress that has been made even if you're doing those same movements with progressively overloaded weights? Take punching practice, for example, in boxing. So you start with a 2.5 kg dumbbell in your hands and you start punching, you practice punches, then you have to progress to a heavier weight for you to gain strength in that particular movement, right? Because strength training requires you to produce more force. More force will be produced when you apply a greater resistance to the muscle. So when you go from 2.5 to 5 kg, okay, you're able to punch. Then you have to go to 7.5 kg. Then you have to go to 10 kg. Eventually, the weight will get so heavy that you're not able to hold it in your hands. How will you punch with a dumbbell that is 15 kgs? How will you punch with the dumbbell that is 10 kg for that matter? You can punch, but how will you punch fast? In boxing, you don't have even a split second to think. How are you going to do that with 15, 10, 12, 5, whatever kg in your hand? It just doesn't make sense. Do you see how it is not really sport specific? And as the dumbbells get heavier and heavier, not only do they get slower and slower, their ranges also reduce. You were able to punch this far, and with the dumbbell, you're now only able to go this far because your shoulder will give up at here. Again, there is strength training and there is sports practice. Strength is trainable in the sense that you can progressively overload it. You can progressively measure if that overload is working by measuring the technique, the range of motion that you go into those exercises with. And strength can be improved by demanding more and more force production from the body, which is progressively overloading that particular exercise so that the body can produce more and more force to move it. How do you train a punch to do that? You can only train a punch by practicing to punch more often, right? Efficiently punching and moving around while punching and dodging different punches are skills, and skills need to be practiced. They need to be practiced in an environment that is similar to the environment where those skills are going to be used. And with weights is not that environment. This sport specific fuckery is very popular because it looks cool, it looks complex, and it makes the person who is making people do these things look like he knows something. It's sellable. And I know most people are not doing this out of malice. If you look at the scene right now in strength and conditioning, it is not really sport specific training unless it's complex and it looks extravagant and you're using multiple bands and Swiss balls and Bosu balls. But as I said earlier, the gym and the weights are to bring about a certain adaptation, and the sport is to be practiced so that those adaptations can be used in the sport to be able to do the movements of the sport better. Please stop the fuckery. I hope this video rant helped you learn something, and I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, please like it. It helps a lot. Please subscribe to the channel for a lot more videos to come. It encourages me to make more and more videos. And if you have any questions, opinions, disagreements, swear words for me, just drop them in the comment. Until next time.